Hey, what's up everyone, the Eradicated X here, bringing to you my thoughts and opinions on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now this game has just near enough come out, and I've decided to near enough give my thoughts and opinions on this game. I just near enough want to clarify that I give a review 1 to 2 weeks to get my full-fledged opinion on things, and I'll be going through the good shits and the bad shits that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has to offer. And also to let you guys know to beware of spoilers in this review, because there's a lot of them. Without further ado, let us begin. Now, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League takes place after the events of the Arkham games, where it's pronounced that basically enough Batman faked his death and basically have formed nearly enough the Justice League. And some parade and whatnot was on their way, but basically before they had a chance to celebrate, an invader known as Brainiac comes to basically invade Metropolis, turning it into his new Corlu. As basically nearly enough the Justice League fights off, basically almost half of the members of the Justice League are nearly enough mind-fucked. Which nearly enough has prompted nearly enough a special agency to nearly enough get together a bunch of low-class villains in order to do the impossible task.
Your new mission is to kill the Justice League.
You can play up to 4 villains, with more later on being added down on the line. If you want to be a character with big, hulky, heavy weapons and is like a brute force tank, go with King Shark. If you want to take on a character with up close and personal with using melees and explosives, go with Harley Quinn. You want to keep safe from far enough distance and take enemies out from afar, go with Deadshot. Or if you basically nearly enough want to play as a character that's kind of got all of those in between, then Captain Boomerang's your man. In it, you can near enough play by yourself, or with nearly enough your friends, or with randomos, whatever nearly enough tickles your fancy. And that is basically everything to near enough go over regarding the game. So now, let's move on to now the good shits and the bad shits that this game nearly enough has to offer. Starting off with the good shits, I will nearly enough give them the hands down on nearly enough how they have done with Metropolis, on how nearly enough it is and how it looks, and especially on how it looks coming the day, the night, or when the whole thing is pouring down, which I nearly enough will give big marks up for that. Another good thing, nearly enough I will nearly enough give them, is a tiny bit of their multiplayer. To kind of give a little example of this, if you're getting in with a mission and you have people with you, you are all given a task to basically get the most points as humanly possible. And the person with the most points ends up winning, and they are now nearly enough the leader, and now they get to decide the next mission that you all have to do. Which I will say a big bring up on that. And finally, I would nearly enough have to say for the good shits, is their currency. If you basically go and look at the Lufa coins, I basically personally call them Lex coins, you can basically see they all come at a fair and reasonable cheap price, and not too expensive like some companies I know. EA, 2K, Blizzard, Hi-Rez, I'm looking at you all, I'm looking at you. Which basically all comes at the cost of the store, which yes, they do have a store, and the only things that you can basically buy there are just basically costumes, or emotes, or banners, and probably other stuff that they're going to do later down the line. And basically enough, I would say that's about it regarding the good shits. So, let's move on now to the bad shits. Starting off with the bad shits, my first main problem about this is that you need to be online in order to basically play the entire story of this game. Which also brings me to my other bad problem regarding this game, which is the story. The story itself is super short, and it basically took me about 2 days to basically finish off the entire game, where more or less half of the missions that you are doing are mostly escort missions, where you have to bring someone from point A to point B, and I would say also the boss fights, where the two ones I have in general that I have a problem with is the fight that you have with Batman, and also the fight that you have with Brainiac, when the fight with Brainiac is just a cut and paste of fighting the Flash. But apparently once you complete the game, apparently your story isn't over yet, because there are apparently more Brainiacs that you need have got to take down, which more of it will be released coming later down in the seasons, which apparently season 1 will come out next month as I am recording this. And finally, the last thing I've got to cover for the bad shits is the bugs. I've basically been playing multiplayer and I've found basically a heap ton of shit and bugs. Few, for example, that basically I found was basically enough Captain Boomerang basically ocking off to something invisible for some odd reason. I basically see King Shark ocking a wall, again for some odd reason too. I occasionally couldn't even get online on the servers for some apparently odd reason. I occasionally got hit with the white screen of death whenever I was online. And finally, to knock it all off, I was occasionally not getting any audio when I was fighting many of the bosses.
I normally don't clean up the low-level criminals. Honestly, it's...
And that brings me to the end of the bad shits. And now brings me to my verdict on how this game is. And that is this game good? And I'm going to say, it's okay. Now, in my honest opinion, I do not see this game made for everyone. I do see a lot of good in it, but also I see a lot of bad in it. For honest opinions on how short the story is. And I know that there are some bugs and glitches in there, but again, bugs and glitches can be fixed and can be patched out. But the main problem I would say that I'm a bit worried about is that how long are we going to need enough wait in order to basically enjoy the rest of the story? Now, they do say they're going to continue on the story through seasons and whatnot, and as I said before, season 1 is going to be out next month. But how long are we going to have to wait for season 2, or season 3, or season 4? And when those seasons come out, will the people still be there ready to play it? Or will they have moved on to play something else, like Final Fantasy Rebirth, or something else, like GTA 6, and whatnot? And they are going to add in everything for free, like the new characters and the story, which I gotta say big up on that. But they are going to add in a battle pass, which is another thing that kind of worries me a bit. But in all honesty, this game is good. It's not made for everyone. And I would say the one thing that's kind of tearing me off is how long we're going to have to wait. I really just don't see much hope in the game coming down the line. So I would say the game is okay, but would I recommend you buying it? I would say wait until Season 1 comes out to make your decision. But what do you think? Do you agree with my decisions? Do you disagree with my decisions? Or how else do you basically would see this review? I would love to hear your opinions in the comments below. With that being said though, if you did enjoy this review, be sure to leave a like. If you didn't, then don't. And I give it a red ass. If you are interested in joining the Red Kingdom in any way, shape, or form, our link to our Discord server is in the description below. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. And as always, peace. DX is out.